Okay, salam alaikum. This is video 2. Anyway, so each individual, we all represent an aspect of the universe, right? So if I'm an Aries, which I am, alhamdulillah, and you are a Pisces or whatever sun sign you are, right? You are a star, okay? However, you are a representation of that celestial house, that constellation, you know? So, and it said, okay, now, so if there's 8 billion people on Earth, right? So then 8 billion people represent different aspects of the universe, right? Um, so, and they represent a constellation of the universe. And as I said once before, you know, let's say I am an Aries, which I am, alhamdulillah. My planetary avatar is, I am an avatar for, let's say, Mars. My planetary avatar is Mars, not Mars, my planetary avatar is Pluto. I don't care what nobody says. For Aries, it's Pluto, right? Because Pluto, two things can't occupy the same space. Pluto and Mars occupy, represent Scorpio. It don't work that way. The universe don't work that way. It'd be chaos, right? Pluto comes after Pisces, right? Okay, so it represents that celestial constellation, Pluto, right? Up near the Kuiper Belt, right? Okay, so anyway, so if Pluto would be my planetary avatar, I would represent Pluto. The celestial avatar, that would be my body, right? The planetary avatar for which my body represents, right, would be Pluto. My celestial body, which is the constellation that my body and my avatar would represent, would be Aries, right? Okay, well, it's the same way for everybody else, right? Okay, so now it said, okay, now let's say my planetary avatar goes around the universe representing the celestial constellation of Aries, Israel, right? And that's why Aries represents the head, right? That controls the body. But the head is supposed to be controlled by the Christ consciousness, okay? So now if we have the head, if we have the representation of the head, which is Pluto, the representation of the head, right? The planetary representative of the head, which is the celestial or the constellation. That will be the celestial body that over the head, right? So if it goes around to every house, right? Every 20 some odd years, it visits a new house, right? And delivers the message until the whole universe, right? Or the whole celestial bodies, all of the celestial bodies get the message that was given to the head, right? The head constellation. I mean, the head the head of the constellation, the 12 houses, right? Which is why the prophets always had 12. Well, which is why the prophet born of a virgin had 12 apostles. Each apostle represented a head. Represented a part of the constellation, right? A house, a celestial house, right? Okay, so if I represent Aries, which, as I said, which I do, alhamdulillah, right? Then being a representative of that on Earth, right, I'm going to engage with other celestial bodies, right? And we're supposed to do so peaceful, just like there's peace in the heavens, right? There's peace in the heavens, right? And it said in the Quran, right, as I remember correctly, and Allah forgive me if I don't remember correctly, right? And it said that, just as there's peace in the heavens, there should be peace on earth. You don't see the planets clashing and banging into everyone. Each planet has its own orbital field, right? It don't go crossing into the other orbital field, blocking its way and trying to occupy its spot. You don't see that, right? You don't see that. So, and if the sun was out of orbit, let's say the sun does, okay, I just had some, you know, sour, something very sour, right? Okay, so it's interfering with my speech. Okay, so anyway, so let's say this, let's say the sun was out of order, and it was in the place of, it was in the orbital field of a Scorpio, which is in this, the sun is in the celestial house of Scorpio, but it's not in the orbital field of Mars, right? So let's say Mars was in, I mean, Scorpio was in the orbital, I mean, the sun was in the orbital field of Mars. There'd be clashing in the heavens. Let's say Saturn was in the orbital field of Uranus. There'd be clashing in the heavens. Let's say Pluto was in the orbital field, which it is in Neptune, but we won't go there because it does have, they both have the same orbital field. We won't go there. There's still harmony there. Okay, so let's say Neptune was in the orbital field of Saturn. There'd be chaos in the universe because everybody's out of order. That's what's going on Earth, right? We, as you know, representatives of the heavens, right? Let's say there's an Aries sun, there's a Aries moon, no, the Aries moon, there's a Leo sun, a Leo moon, Gemini sun, a Gemini moon, all these other, and various others, right? Let's say that's because that's what we represent on Earth, right? So let's say all of these, so let's say, okay, now because there's all these wars, no, we won't go there. Okay, because everybody, there's supposed to be peace on Earth, right? Just as the people on Earth represent the heavens, right? The Pisces sun, the Aries sun, the Leo sun, and various other, you know, astrological aspects, right? So we as representatives of the heavens, right? The planets, right? And just as there's supposed to be peace among, there is peace among the planets, we are supposed to be in harmony, you know, and get along just like the heavens, right? What do they call that? The procession of the equinox, right? Not, I think that's what they call it. But anyway, you know, just as the planets orbit the sun in peace, I got to get the bracelets out of my mouth. I got to get these bracelets out. Anyway, so just as the sun orbits, I mean, just as the planets orbit the sun in peace, so too is mankind, which represents all of these planetary bodies, are to, you know, get along with one another in peace. Live in peace, like the planets live in the heavens among each other in peace. You know, it is, you know, mankind is out of order. The body of man is out of order, right? And if one were to imagine, you know, the heavens out of order, as, you know, the representatives of the heaven is out of order. And as it can be seen with, you know, the violence that is taking place on the planet right now and the threat of total annihilation of the global humanity, you know, which, alhamdulillah, I don't believe that's going to happen, right? Because Allah will intervene, mashallah, because Allah created this and only Allah can destroy this, right? Okay, now he may destroy those who do try to destroy it, but I don't think Allah, not with his believers on earth, right? And especially the believers are going to pray that that don't happen, right? MashaAllah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, so just as the heavens are to get along, the heavens do get along, humanity is to get along because they represent the heavens, right? And that's why, you know, astrology, you know, not worshiping the stars, but understand not worshiping the planets or the stars, you know, is, you know, worshiping the stars and all that, the planets is haram, which is forbidden. But understanding them and what they mean is not. You know, living in harmony with the heavens, you know, because it said also the only thing that's greater than man is the heavens, right? Allah, then the heavens, right? So we can learn from the planets. We can learn how to get along, excuse me, as representatives of the heavens, right? We can get along like the heavens as representatives of the heavens. So we as human beings are, you know, let's say we're like the United Nations, right? The united celestial beings, right? That represent the heavens, the heavenly bodies. We represent that. That's what we are. That's who we are. And we're to bring peace on this earth as there is peace in the heavens. We're to maintain the peace. I gotta go get those braces fixed. They're underneath braces, so I gotta get them fixed. But anyway, so we are to represent the peace on earth as there is peace in the heavens, right? Okay. Okay. So we shall continue. Okay. Right? And we don't spread. So now at this time, you know, right about this time where we're planting our seeds, you know, we are to plant them in, you know, we're not to squander them, right? We're to positively plant them, and we're not to squander them by getting ourselves involved in the quest for, you know, global annihilation, right? Or genocide, right? Of the Palestinian people, the Palestinian nation. Okay? We are to support peace, and that's what I'm saying. You know, with the Christ consciousness, can't enter the new kingdom unless you have the Christ consciousness. And we already spoke about what the Christ consciousness represents, right? Now, and one can learn about the Christ consciousness of all the prophets as it's in Islam, right? Okay. Now, so before we can enter the new kingdom, we have to get the Christ consciousness right, right? Now, another thing, okay. So when Saturn enters, Saturn and Neptune enters Aries, right? As we spoke before, that's when the kind of like the walls of Jericho will come tumbling down, right? And that's Jericho would be represented by the 50,000 celestial yesteryear cycle, right? Okay, so when the veil of that comes tumbling down, and what it is represented by the veil is one will be able to see exactly how the the 50,000 celestial yesteryear was constructed based upon all the deceit and deception, right? So it was deceit and deception. Okay? So, because one has to, you know, be able to to see, you know, the falsehood, right? So they're gonna be able to see how it was constructed, right? And what it was based upon as well, right? The destruction of humanity, right? Okay, and we all know, let me go to video 3.